If you're listening to this right now, in the darkness, you've found your way here for a reason. Maybe you're lying in bed, your mind still turning over the events of the day. Maybe you're curled on a couch, feeling the weight of tension in your shoulders, in your jaw. Maybe you've been carrying stress, anxiety, or a kind of exhaustion that sleep doesn't seem to touch. Whatever brought you here tonight, you're welcome. There's a part of your body, something you've carried with you since before you were born, that most people never learn about. It's not a muscle you can flex. It's not an organ you can feel. It's a nerve, a single wandering nerve that travels from the base of your brain, down through your neck, past your heart and lungs, all the way into your abdomen. It's called the vagus nerve, and it might be the most important nerve in your body that you've never heard of. Tonight, we're going to take a slow journey together. Not a race, not a lecture, just a gentle exploration of this quiet pathway inside you that connects your brain to almost every major organ in your body. This nerve, the vagus nerve, is constantly sending messages. It's listening to your heart. It's monitoring your breath. It's checking in with your stomach, your lungs, even the muscles in your face and throat. And it's doing all of this to answer one essential question. Am I safe? If you need to fall asleep while listening, that's completely okay. In fact, it's perfect. There's no quiz at the end. No need to remember facts or take notes. This is just an invitation to let your mind rest on something gentle, something true about your own body, while the day slowly releases its grip on you. Your body already knows how to do this. You don't need to try. So let's begin at the very beginning. What is the vagus nerve? The word vagus comes from Latin. It means wandering. And that name is perfect, because this nerve truly wanders through your body like a river finding its path through a landscape. It starts deep in your brainstem, in a region called the medulla oblongata, which sits right where your brain meets your spinal cord. From there, it emerges, like a traveler stepping out into the world. The vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve. Your cranial nerves are 12 pairs of nerves that come directly from your brain, rather than from your spinal cord. Some control your sense of smell, your vision, the movement of your eyes. Others help you taste, help you hear, help you move your face. But the vagus nerve, the 10th one, is the longest of them all. It's not content to stay near the head, it travels. Imagine for a moment a silk thread, strong but delicate, being gently pulled through your body. The vagus nerve leaves the brainstem and immediately begins its descent through a small opening in the base of your skull, called the jugular foramen. It slips through this opening alongside important blood vessels and enters your neck. In your neck, the vagus nerve travels inside something called the carotid sheath, which is like a protective tube of tissue that also holds your carotid artery and your jugular vein. These are major highways of your circulatory system, and the vagus nerve is traveling right alongside them, like a companion on a long journey. As it moves down through your neck, the vagus nerve sends small branches, like roots extending from a tree. Some of these branches reach your throat your vocal cords, your larynx. This is why the vagus nerve has a connection to your voice, to the sounds you make, to the way you hum or sing or speak. Other small branches reach toward your carotid artery, sensing the pressure of blood flow, helping your body understand what's happening with your circulation. Then, the vagus nerve arrives at the base of your neck and enters your chest. Now, something interesting happens. You actually have two vagus nerves, one on the left side of your body and one on the right. They're mirror images of each other, mostly. But when they enter your chest, they take slightly different paths. The left vagus nerve travels down in front of the aorta, the largest artery in your body, and then moves behind your left lung before reaching your esophagus. The right vagus nerve takes a different route, passing behind your esophagus and your right lung. Eventually, both nerves meet up again, forming a network of nerve fibers around your esophagus, called the esophageal plexus. A plexus is just a fancy word for a network, like vines weaving together. In your chest, the vagus nerve is in constant communication with your heart and your lungs. It sends branches to your heart, influencing how fast or slow it beats. When you take a slow, deep breath and your heart rate naturally slows down, that's the vagus nerve at work. When you breathe out, especially a long, easy exhale, the vagus nerve sends a calming signal to your heart, like someone gently saying, "It's okay. You can slow down now." The vagus nerve also communicates with your lungs, with the airways and the smooth muscles that control breathing. It's part of why, when you feel safe and relaxed, your breathing becomes soft and even, and why, when you feel threatened or anxious, your breath becomes quick and shallow. Your vagus nerve is part of that conversation. From your chest, the vagus nerve continues downward through your diaphragm, that dome-shaped muscle that helps you breathe, and it enters your abdomen, here, in your belly. The vagus nerve spreads out like the roots of an old tree, reaching toward your stomach, your liver, your pancreas, your intestines. It's intimately connected with your digestive system. This is why, when you feel safe and calm, digestion happens easily. Your stomach can do its work. Your intestines can absorb nutrients. Everything flows. But when you're anxious or stressed or scared, digestion often stops. Your stomach might feel tight or nauseous. You might lose your appetite completely. That's because when your body perceives danger, it doesn't want to waste energy on digestion. It wants to use that energy to run or fight or freeze. And the vagus nerve is part of the system making those decisions. So if we zoom out and look at the full journey of this wandering nerve, we see something remarkable. The vagus nerve touches, directly or indirectly, almost every major system in your body: your voice and throat, your heart and lungs, your stomach and intestines. It's like a telephone line running through your body, connecting everything back to your brain. But here's the part that most people find surprising. The messages traveling along the vagus nerve don't mostly go from your brain down to your body. They go the other way. About 80% of the fibers in the vagus nerve are what we call afferent fibers. Afferent means they carry information from your body up to your brain. Only about 20% are efferent, carrying commands from your brain down to your organs. Let that sink in for a moment. 80% of the conversation is your body talking to your brain, not the other way around. Your heart is sending signals up through the vagus nerve. Your stomach is sending signals. Your lungs are sending signals. And your brain is listening. Your body is constantly reporting. It's saying, "My heart is beating fast right now." It's saying, "My stomach feels tight." It's saying, "My breathing is shallow and quick." Or it's saying, "My heart is calm and steady. My belly is soft. My breath is slow and easy." And based on all of these messages, your brain is making a determination. Am I safe right now? Or am I in danger? This process happens without you thinking about it. It's not a conscious decision. You don't sit down and think, "Let me evaluate whether I'm safe." It happens beneath your awareness, in the deep, ancient parts of your brain that have been keeping animals alive for millions of years. Scientists call this process neuroception. Neuroception is different from perception. Perception is what you consciously notice. You see a red apple. You hear a dog barking. You smell coffee brewing. Neuroception is what your nervous system detects, without your conscious mind being involved. It's your body scanning the environment and your internal state for cues of safety or danger. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're sitting in a coffee shop, reading a book. Someone walks in and sits down at the table next to you. You don't look up. You keep reading. But something in your body shifts. Maybe your shoulders tense slightly. Maybe your breath becomes just a little more shallow. Maybe you suddenly feel less comfortable. You didn't consciously decide to feel this way. You didn't think, "That person looks dangerous." But your body picked up something. Maybe it was the heaviness of their footsteps. Maybe it was the way they moved into your peripheral vision. Maybe it was something you can't even name. Your nervous system detected a cue and responded. That's neuroception. Now imagine a different scenario. You're sitting on a couch, and your dog walks over and rests their head on your knee. You didn't call them. You weren't thinking about them. But the moment their warm head settles onto your leg, something in your body softens. Your breathing deepens. Your shoulders drop. Maybe you smile without meaning to. Again, you didn't decide to feel this way. Your body detected a cue of safety and responded. These are small examples, but they happen all day long. Your nervous system is constantly scanning. It's reading the tone of someone's voice. It's noticing the expression on a stranger's face. It's sensing whether you're alone in a dark parking lot or surrounded by people you trust. It's checking your own heartbeat, your own breath, your own gut sensations. And it's using all of this information to decide in every moment whether you're safe or whether you need to protect yourself. The vagus nerve is at the heart of this process. It's the main messenger, carrying information from your body to your brain. And depending on the message it delivers, your brain shifts your entire physiology. If the message is, "We're safe," your brain allows your body to relax. Your heart rate slows. Your digestion turns on. Your muscles soften. Your face becomes more expressive. You feel open, curious, ready to connect. But if the message is, "We're not safe," Your brain activates a different system. Your heart rate speeds up. Your muscles tense. Digestion shuts down. You feel alert, vigilant, ready to react. Or, if the message is, we're trapped, there's no way out, your brain might activate a third system. A shutdown, a collapse, a kind of internal giving up. These three states, safe and social, mobilized for action, and shut down, are at the core of something called Polyvagal Theory. Polyvagal Theory was developed by a researcher named Stephen Porges in the 1990s. The word polyvagal just means multiple vagal pathways. Porges discovered that the vagus nerve isn't just one thing. It has different branches that do different jobs. And those branches correspond to different survival strategies that evolved over millions of years. Before Porges, most people thought of the nervous system in simple terms. There was the fight or flight response, the sympathetic nervous system, and there was the rest and digest response, the parasympathetic nervous system. Two systems, on or off, stressed or calm. But Porges realized it's more complex than that. He discovered that the parasympathetic system, the calming system, actually has two different branches. One branch is what we call the ventral vagal pathway. Ventral means front or belly side. This branch of the vagus nerve is connected to the muscles of your face, your eyes, your middle ear, your voice. It's the newest part of the vagus nerve in evolutionary terms. It exists in mammals, especially in social mammals like us. And its job is to support connection, safety, play, rest. The other branch is what we call the dorsal vagal pathway. Dorsal means back or spine side. This branch of the vagus nerve is much older. It exists in reptiles, in fish, in ancient vertebrates. And its job is to help the organism survive when there's no other option. When you can't fight, when you can't run, when you can't connect. This branch initiates shutdown, collapse, immobility. So according to polyvagal theory, we don't just have two states, we have three. And they exist in a kind of hierarchy, like rungs on a ladder. At the top of the ladder is the ventral vagal state, safe and social. In the middle is the sympathetic state, mobilized, fight or flight. At the bottom is the dorsal vagal state, shut down, freeze, collapse. Your nervous system moves up and down this ladder all day long, depending on what's happening around you, depending on what's happening inside you. And the vagus nerve is constantly sending messages, helping your brain decide which rung of the ladder to stand on. Now, we're going to explore each of these states, slowly and carefully. We're going to talk about what they feel like in your body. We're going to talk about when they're helpful and when they're not. We're going to talk about how trauma and chronic stress can keep you stuck in certain states. And we're going to talk about how you can gently, over time, support your vagus nerve and increase your capacity to feel safe in your own body. But there's no rush. We have all the time we need. If your mind is starting to drift, let it. If your breathing is starting to slow, that's exactly right. Your body is already listening, even if your conscious mind is floating somewhere else. The vagus nerve is always there, wandering through your body, carrying messages, keeping you alive. And now, you know it's there. So now, we arrive at the heart of our exploration. These three states of your nervous system: the ventral vagal state, where you feel safe and connected; the sympathetic state, where you're mobilized for action; and the dorsal vagal state, where you shut down and collapse. We're going to walk through each one slowly, with compassion. Let's begin with the state your nervous system most wants to be in: the ventral vagal state, the state of safety and social connection. When you're in a ventral vagal state, your body has determined that you're safe. Not just intellectually safe, like knowing you're in a locked house, but deeply, physiologically safe. Your nervous system has scanned your environment, has scanned your internal sensations, and has concluded, there's no threat here. I can relax, I can open, I can connect. This state is sometimes called the social engagement system, because when you're in it, you're able to engage with the world and with other people in a way that feels natural and easy. Your ventral vagal pathway, the newest branch of the vagus nerve, connects to specific muscles in your face and head. The muscles around your eyes, the muscles in your middle ear that help you tune into the human voice, the muscles in your face that create expressions, the muscles in your throat and larynx that control your voice. When this system is active, all of these muscles work together to help you connect. Think about a time when you were sitting with someone you trust. Maybe a close friend, or a partner, or a family member you feel safe with. You're talking together, and there's no agenda, no performance, no need to impress or defend. Your face is relaxed, but expressive. Your eyes are soft, making easy contact with theirs. Your voice has a natural melody to it, rising and falling as you speak. You might laugh, and the laughter comes easily from somewhere deep in your belly. Your breathing is slow and full. Your heart is beating at a calm, steady rhythm. You're not thinking about your body at all. You're just present. That's the ventral vagal state. Or imagine sitting in a quiet room in the morning. You're holding a cup of tea or coffee, feeling the warmth of the cup in your hands. Sunlight is coming through the window. There's nowhere you need to be right now. You take a sip, and you can actually taste it. Your mind isn't racing ahead to the day's tasks. It's not replaying yesterday's conversations. You're just here. Your belly is soft. Your shoulders are dropped. Your jaw is loose. Maybe you're watching the steam rise from your cup, and it's enough. This moment is enough. That's ventral vagal. Or think about petting an animal, a dog or a cat. Your hand is moving slowly through their fur. They're relaxed against you, maybe purring or breathing deeply with their eyes half closed. And you feel connected, not just to them, but to something larger, a sense of everything is okay right now. In the ventral vagal state, your body is doing things you can't see, but you can feel. Your heart rate is calm, but it's also flexible. It speeds up a little when you breathe in. It slows down a little when you breathe out. This natural variation, this rhythm, is called heart rate variability. And high heart rate variability is a sign of a healthy, well-toned vagus nerve. It means your body can adapt, can respond, can flow with what's happening. Your digestion, works smoothly in this state. Your stomach produces the acids it needs to break down food. Your intestines move in gentle waves, absorbing nutrients, eliminating waste. This is why you might notice that when you eat a meal while feeling relaxed and happy, it sits well in your stomach. But when you eat while stressed or anxious, even the same meal can feel heavy or uncomfortable. In the ventral vagal state, your immune system functions well. Inflammation decreases. Your body has the resources to repair tissues, to fight off infections, to maintain balance, because your body isn't spending all its energy preparing for danger. And psychologically, emotionally, this state feels like home. You feel curious about the world. You feel open to learning, to playing, to exploring. You can feel empathy for others. You can feel compassion for yourself and for other people. You might feel joy or contentment or a quiet sense of well-being. You feel like yourself. This is the state where healing happens, where growth happens, where connection happens. Your nervous system, ideally, wants to spend most of its time here. In this state of ventral vagal safety. But of course, life isn't always safe. Threats do appear. Challenges arise. Stress happens. And when your nervous system detects danger, even potential danger, it shifts. It moves down the ladder into the sympathetic state. The sympathetic nervous system is what most people know as the fight or flight response. This system evolved hundreds of millions of years ago to help animals survive threats. When a predator appeared, an animal needed to act fast, fight if there was a chance of winning, flee if there was a chance of escape. And to do either, the body needed a surge of energy and focus. That's what the sympathetic nervous system provides. When it activates, everything in your body changes almost instantly. Your heart rate speeds up, sometimes dramatically. Your heart is pumping more blood, more oxygen to your muscles so you can run or fight. Your breathing becomes faster, more shallow. You're taking in more oxygen quickly. Your pupils dilate so you can see better, especially in your peripheral vision. Your muscles tense, ready to spring into action. Blood is redirected away from your digestive system and sent to your large muscles instead. Digestion stops. This is not the time to process lunch. Your liver releases stored glucose, giving you a quick burst of energy. Stress hormones flood your system, cortisol and adrenaline. Your thinking becomes narrow and focused. You're not contemplating philosophy. You're scanning for threat. You're calculating escape routes. This response is incredibly useful when there's a real immediate danger. If you step off a curb and a car is coming, your sympathetic system kicks in and you jump back before you even consciously register what's happening. If you're hiking and you see a snake on the trail, your body reacts, muscles tense, heart pounds, and you leap backward. This system has kept humans alive for millennia. The problem is, modern life triggers this system constantly. Your sympathetic nervous system can't tell the difference between a real physical threat and a psychological stressor. A work deadline feels like danger. A conflict with your partner feels like danger. An overdue bill feels like danger. A crowded subway feels like danger. The news, social media, traffic jams, performance pressure, financial worry. All of these things can activate your sympathetic nervous system. And when it's activated too often, for too long, it becomes exhausting. Imagine living in a constant state of almost running. Your heart always beating a little too fast. Your muscles always a little tense. Your breathing always a little shallow. Your digestion unreliable. Maybe you have stomach issues, or you lose your appetite, or you eat compulsively trying to soothe yourself. Your sleep suffers. Because even when you lie down at night, your sympathetic system is still humming in the background. Your mind races with thoughts, planning, worrying, replaying. You might feel irritable, snappy. Small things set you off. Or you might feel anxious, jittery, like something bad is about to happen, but you don't know what. You might feel like you can't sit still. You need to be doing something, checking your phone, scrolling, moving, staying busy. Because if you stop, the discomfort in your body becomes too loud. Chronic sympathetic activation wears down your system. It affects your immune system. It affects your cardiovascular system. It affects your mental health. But here's what's important to understand. If you're in this state, it's not your fault. Your body is trying to protect you. Your nervous system has detected cues of danger, whether they're in your environment or in your own internal sensations, and it's responding the only way it knows how. By mobilizing you, by keeping you alert, by preparing you to act. It's doing its job. The problem isn't your body. The problem is that the modern world presents threats your nervous system wasn't designed to handle. Threats that don't go away. Threats you can't fight or flee from. And when you can't fight, and you can't flee, and the threat continues, sometimes your nervous system takes a different path. It moves to the bottom of the ladder, to the oldest survival response we have, the dorsal vagal shutdown. This state is less familiar to most people. We talk about fight or flight all the time, but we don't talk as much about freeze, about collapse, about shutdown. The dorsal vagal pathway is the most ancient branch of the vagus nerve. It exists in reptiles, in fish, in the earliest vertebrates, and its function is to help the organism survive when all other options are gone. In the animal kingdom, this response is sometimes called tonic immobility, playing dead. When a small animal is caught by a predator, sometimes its nervous system will trigger a complete shutdown. The animal goes limp, breathing slows, heart rate drops. To the predator, it looks dead. And sometimes, the predator loses interest and walks away. It's a last-ditch survival mechanism when fighting would be futile and fleeing is impossible. In humans, this dorsal vagal response still exists. It doesn't look quite the same as an animal playing dead, but it serves a similar function. When your nervous system determines that a threat is overwhelming and inescapable, it may initiate shutdown. This is not a conscious choice. You don't decide, okay, I'm going to shut down now. It happens automatically beneath your awareness as a protective mechanism. The dorsal vagal state feels very different from sympathetic activation. Instead of speeding up, everything slows down. Your heart rate drops. Your blood pressure can drop. Your metabolism slows. You feel heavy, immobile, like your limbs are made of lead. Emotionally, you might feel numb. Not sad exactly. Not anxious. Just nothing. A flatness, an emptiness. Like you're watching your life from behind a thick pane of glass. You might feel disconnected from your body. You look at your hands, and they don't quite feel like yours. You hear people talking to you, but their words seem to come from far away. This is sometimes called dissociation. Your thinking becomes foggy. You can't concentrate. You can't make decisions. Simple tasks, like responding to an email or making a phone call, feel impossibly difficult. You might sit, staring at the screen for an hour and accomplish nothing. Time can feel strange in this state. Hours pass, and you're not sure where they went. You might find yourself scrolling on your phone for what feels like a few minutes, and suddenly it's been 2 hours. You feel exhausted, bone-deep exhausted, but you might not be able to rest. Or you sleep for 10 hours and wake up feeling just as tired. Getting out of bed can feel like climbing a mountain. Taking a shower, making breakfast. These basic tasks require more energy than you have. So you stay in bed, or you sit on the couch, and hours pass. People might not understand. They might say, "You just need to push through." They might say, "You're being lazy." They might say, "Just get up and do something." But this isn't about willpower. This is your nervous system in a state of protective shutdown. This state can look like depression, and often it is depression. But understanding it through the lens of Polyvagal Theory can be helpful, because it's not that you're broken. It's that your body, at some point, learned that shutting down was the safest option. Maybe you experienced trauma. Maybe you experienced chronic stress or neglect. Maybe you were in a situation where you couldn't fight back, couldn't escape, couldn't even express what was happening. And your nervous system did the only thing it could do. It took you offline. This is an ancient, protective mechanism. It conserved your energy. It reduced your visibility. It helped you survive. But the problem is, sometimes your nervous system gets stuck here. Even when the threat is gone, even when you're objectively safe now, your body might still be operating from this shutdown state, because your nervous system hasn't received the message yet that it's safe to come back online. If you've experienced this state, you're not alone, and you're not broken. Your body was trying to keep you safe in the only way it knew how. So now, we have this picture. 3 states. Ventral Vagal at the top of the ladder, where you feel safe and connected. Sympathetic in the middle, where you're mobilized and alert. Dorsal Vagal at the bottom, where you're shut down and collapsed. And the truth is, you move between these states all day long. You're not stuck in just one. Even in a single day, you might touch all 3. You wake up in the morning, and maybe for a few moments, you're in Ventral Vagal. You're still sleepy. The light is soft, and there's a quiet peacefulness. Then you remember everything you need to do today, and your sympathetic system starts to activate. Your heart rate picks up a little. Your mind starts planning. You get up. You move through your morning, staying in that mobilized state. Maybe you have a nice moment with a partner or a pet, and for a few minutes, you drop back into ventral vagal. You laugh, you feel connected, and your body softens. Then you get to work, and the demands pile up, and you're back in sympathetic. By the end of the day, you're exhausted. You collapse on the couch, and you're not quite in ventral vagal because you don't feel peaceful. You're not really in sympathetic because you don't have the energy to be alert. You're sliding into dorsal vagal, numb, scrolling, not really present. These shifts are normal. What matters is whether you can shift back, whether you have the flexibility to move up and down the ladder as needed. This flexibility is called vagal tone. Just like muscle tone refers to the strength and responsiveness of a muscle, vagal tone refers to the strength and responsiveness of your vagus nerve. High vagal tone means you can recover from stress more easily. You can drop into sympathetic when you need to, handle the challenge, and then come back to ventral vagal. You can rest when you need to, and then re-engage when it's time. Low vagal tone means you get stuck. Maybe you get stuck in chronic sympathetic activation, always anxious, always on edge. Or maybe you get stuck in dorsal vagal shutdown, always exhausted, always disconnected, and it's hard to climb back up to safety. The good news is that vagal tone can be strengthened. Your nervous system has a capacity for change, something called neuroplasticity. This means no matter how long you've been stuck, no matter how chronic your stress or trauma has been, healing is possible. Change is possible. Your vagus nerve can be supported. Your nervous system can learn new patterns. And slowly, gently, you can increase your capacity to feel safe in your own body. We've been traveling together now through the landscape of your nervous system, learning about these three states: ventral vagal, sympathetic, and dorsal vagal. And now, we come to something hopeful. The understanding that your nervous system is not fixed, that even if you've been stuck in chronic stress or shutdown for months or years, change is still possible. Your vagus nerve can be supported. Your capacity for safety can be strengthened. But first, let's spend a little more time with the dorsal vagal state, because this state is often the most misunderstood and the most painful. When you're in dorsal vagal shutdown, you might look fine from the outside. You're not running around in a panic. You're not visibly agitated. You might be sitting quietly or lying in bed, and to someone else, you might just look tired. But inside, it feels like the world has gone gray. Colors seem muted. Sounds seem distant. You're here, but you're not really here. You're watching your life from somewhere far away. People talk to you, and you hear the words, but they don't quite land. You nod. You might even respond, but you're on autopilot. There's a sense of going through the motions. In this state, even small decisions can feel overwhelming. What to eat for breakfast, whether to answer a text message, what to wear. These tiny choices require energy you simply don't have. So you might just not decide. You stay in bed. You wear the same clothes. You don't respond. And then there's often shame, because part of you knows that you should be able to function. You should be able to get up and go to work. You should be able to call your friend back. You should be able to take care of basic things, but you can't. And you might start to believe that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. But here's what I want you to understand. This shutdown is not a moral failure. It's not weakness. It's not laziness. It's a biological survival response. At some point, your nervous system learned that shutting down was the safest option. Maybe you experienced trauma, and fighting back wasn't possible, and running away wasn't possible. So your body did the only thing it could do. It took you offline. Or maybe you experienced chronic stress for so long that your sympathetic system just gave out. You can only run on adrenaline for so long. Eventually, the body collapses into dorsal vagal shutdown as a way to conserve whatever energy is left. This is not your fault. Your body was trying to protect you. It still is. And the path out is not through willpower. You can't just snap out of it. The path out is through gently teaching your nervous system that it's safe now, that it can begin to come back online. This takes time. It takes patience. It takes compassion. But it is possible. So let's talk about what this looks like in everyday life. These nervous system states, these movements up and down the ladder, they're happening all the time. Maybe you wake up in the morning and your first feeling is dread. Your eyes open and immediately your chest feels tight. That's sympathetic activation starting the day. Your nervous system is already anticipating threat even before you're fully awake. You try to get out of bed, but your body feels so heavy. That might be dorsal vagal pulling you back down, shut down, saying, it's not safe to face the day. But then, maybe your dog comes over and puts their head on the bed, looking at you with those soft eyes, and something in you shifts. You reach out and pet them, and for just a moment, you touch ventral vagal, connection, safety, warmth. These shifts can be subtle. They can happen dozens of times a day. You're sitting at your desk, trying to work, and your mind keeps racing. You can't focus. Your shoulders are up by your ears. Your jaw is clenched. Sympathetic. Then, a colleague sends you a kind message, or you receive good news, and suddenly, your body relaxes just a little. A glimpse of ventral vagal. Or you're at a social gathering, and it's loud and crowded, and you start to feel overwhelmed. First, sympathetic might kick in. Your heart pounds. You feel anxious. You want to leave, but you can't leave. So your system shifts into dorsal vagal. You go quiet. You zone out. You're physically present, but mentally, you've checked out. Understanding these patterns in yourself can be incredibly valuable. Not to judge yourself, not to fix yourself, just to notice. Oh, I'm in sympathetic right now. Oh, I'm starting to shut down. Oh, I feel safe and connected in this moment. This awareness itself is a first step toward change, because you can't shift something if you don't know what's happening. And as you become more aware, you can start to notice what helps you move between states, what brings you up from shutdown, what calms you down from fight or flight, what helps you access that ventral vagal feeling of safety. This brings us to vagal tone. We touched on this earlier, but let's go a little deeper. Vagal tone is essentially a measure of how well your vagus nerve is functioning. Think of it like the tone in a muscle. A muscle with good tone is strong, responsive, flexible. It can contract when needed and relax when needed. A muscle with poor tone is weak, sluggish, or chronically tight. The vagus nerve works the same way. High vagal tone means your vagus nerve is responsive and flexible. It means you can shift between states more easily. You can handle stress and then return to calm. You can rest and then mobilize when needed. You have resilience. Low vagal tone means you get stuck. Maybe you get stuck in sympathetic, always anxious, always on edge, unable to truly relax. Or you get stuck in dorsal vagal, always exhausted, always disconnected, unable to fully engage with life. One way researchers measure vagal tone is through something called heart rate variability. This is the natural variation in the time between your heartbeats. When you breathe in, your heart rate speeds up slightly. When you breathe out, your heart rate slows down slightly. This variation is a sign of a healthy nervous system. It means your vagus nerve is actively communicating with your heart, helping it adapt moment to moment. High heart rate variability correlates with high vagal tone. It's associated with better stress resilience, better emotional regulation, better overall health. Low heart rate variability suggests your nervous system is stuck, either in chronic stress or chronic shutdown. The good news is, vagal tone can be improved. Just like you can strengthen a muscle through exercise, you can strengthen your vagus nerve through practice. There are simple, gentle things you can do that support your vagus nerve and help increase your capacity to feel safe. These aren't quick fixes. They're not magic cures. But over time, practiced regularly, they can help your nervous system find its way back to balance. One of the most powerful tools is your breath. Specifically, slow, deep breathing with a longer exhale than inhale. When you breathe in, your heart rate naturally increases slightly. This is sympathetic activation. When you breathe out, your heart rate naturally decreases. This is vagal activation. So when you extend your exhale, making it longer than your inhale, you're essentially giving your vagus nerve more time to do its calming work. You might breathe in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 6, or in for 4 and out for 8. The exact numbers don't matter as much as the general pattern, a longer, slower exhale. You can practice this anywhere, sitting at your desk, lying in bed, waiting in line. Just a few minutes of slow breathing with extended exhales can signal to your nervous system that it's safe to relax. Another practice that stimulates the vagus nerve is humming. This might sound simple, even silly, but it's surprisingly effective. Your vagus nerve is connected to your vocal cords and larynx. When you hum, or sing, or chant, the vibrations in your throat directly stimulate the vagus nerve. You can feel this if you try it now. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, make a gentle humming sound. Feel the vibration in your throat, in your chest, maybe even in your head. That vibration is stimulating your vagus nerve. It's activating the calming, parasympathetic response. Studies have shown that humming can increase the production of nitric oxide in your sinuses. Nitric oxide helps improve blood flow, reduces inflammation, and supports overall cardiovascular health. You don't need to hum loudly. A soft, gentle hum is enough. You can do this for just a minute or two, whenever you notice yourself feeling stressed or anxious. Singing works the same way. This is one reason why singing in a choir, or even singing along to music in your car, can feel so soothing. It's not just the music itself, it's the act of singing, the vibration in your throat, engaging your vagus nerve. Another technique is cold water on your face. This activates something called the dive reflex. The dive reflex is an ancient physiological response found in all mammals. When your face, especially the area around your eyes and cheeks, comes into contact with cold water, it triggers your vagus nerve. Your heart rate slows. Your blood pressure can drop. Your nervous system shifts from sympathetic to parasympathetic. This is why, if you're feeling panicked or overwhelmed, splashing cold water on your face can bring immediate relief. Or you can fill a bowl with cold water, add some ice, and submerge your face for just 10 or 20 seconds. It's a quick way to interrupt a sympathetic spiral and activate your calming system. Movement can also support vagal tone, not intense exercise necessarily. Gentle movement, stretching, yoga, walking. Movement that allows you to stay connected to your body and your breath. When you're in sympathetic activation, your body wants to move. Fight or flight. Both require movement. So allowing yourself to move in a way that feels good can help discharge that sympathetic energy. And when you're in dorsal shutdown, gentle movement can help bring you back online. It doesn't have to be much. Just standing up, stretching your arms, taking a few steps. The key is to move in a way that feels safe and manageable. Not pushing yourself, not forcing, just inviting your body to come back into connection. Connection with others is perhaps the most powerful way to support ventral vagal activation. Your nervous system is designed to co-regulate with other nervous systems. When you're with someone who feels safe, someone who is calm and present, their nervous system can help regulate yours. This is why being held by someone you trust when you're upset can be so soothing, or why talking to a close friend can help you feel more grounded. Their ventral vagal state can help you access yours. Even eye contact, soft, kind eye contact, can activate the social engagement system. This is part of why therapy works. Not just the words and techniques, but the presence of another person who is regulated and attuned, helping your nervous system feel safe. Animals can provide this too. A dog resting their head in your lap, a cat purring against your chest. Their calm presence can help activate your ventral vagal state. Laughter also engages the vagus nerve. Real laughter, the kind that comes from your belly, involves deep breathing and diaphragm movement. And that stimulates your vagus nerve. This is why laughter feels so good. It's not just psychological, it's physiological. Spending time in nature can support vagal tone as well. Sunlight, fresh air, the sound of birds or water. These things send cues of safety to your nervous system. Meditation and mindfulness practices, especially those that focus on the body, can help you become more aware of your nervous system states. And awareness creates the possibility for change. None of these practices are rules. They're invitations. You don't have to do all of them. You don't have to do any of them perfectly. Just choose one or two that feel accessible to you and practice them gently, regularly. Over time, your nervous system will start to learn that safety is possible, that it doesn't have to stay stuck in fight or flight or in shutdown, that there's another state available, a state of rest, connection, peace. Now, let's talk briefly about trauma, because trauma can have a profound impact on the nervous system. Trauma, especially complex or prolonged trauma, can keep your nervous system stuck in survival mode. Your body might be constantly scanning for danger, even when there is none. Or it might have learned that the world is fundamentally unsafe, and so it stays in shutdown as a way to protect itself. Healing from trauma often requires more than just understanding or insight. It requires working with the body, with the nervous system. This is where somatic therapy, polyvagal informed therapy, and other body-based approaches can be so valuable. These therapies help you gently reconnect with your body. They teach you to notice your nervous system states. They provide tools to help you move out of stuck patterns. Therapies like somatic experiencing, EMDR, sensoromotor psychotherapy, all work with the understanding that trauma lives in the body, and that healing must also involve the body. If you've experienced trauma and you notice that your nervous system feels chronically dysregulated, please know that help is available. You don't have to do this alone. Working with a trained therapist who understands polyvagal theory and trauma can make a profound difference. But even on your own, even in small ways, you can begin to support your nervous system through breath, through gentle movement, through connection, through moments of safety. Your body wants to heal. It's designed to move toward balance, toward homeostasis. It's just waiting for the signal that it's safe to do so. And that signal can start with something as simple as a slow breath, a gentle hum, a moment of connection with another being. These small practices, repeated over time, send a message to your vagus nerve. They say, "It's okay. You're safe now. You can rest." And slowly, your nervous system begins to believe it. We're entering the final part of our journey together. By now, you know about the vagus nerve, this wandering pathway through your body. You know about the 3 states of your nervous system, and you know that healing and change are possible. Now, let's talk about sleep, because the vagus nerve plays a central role in your ability to rest. Sleep is not just the absence of waking. It's an active state, orchestrated by your nervous system. And for sleep to happen, your body needs to feel safe. When your ventral vagal system is active, when you're in that state of safety and connection, your body can let go into sleep. Your heart rate slows to its nighttime rhythm. Your breathing deepens and steadies. Your muscles release their tension. Your digestive system can do its quiet work of repair and restoration. But if your sympathetic system is still activated, if your body is still in fight or flight mode, sleep becomes difficult. Your heart keeps racing, your mind keeps spinning, your muscles stay tense. You lie there, exhausted, but unable to drop into rest. This is why so many people struggle to sleep. even when they're physically tired. Their nervous system hasn't received the signal that it's safe to sleep. And if you're in dorsal vagal shutdown, you might sleep. But it doesn't feel restorative. You sleep for 8 or 10 hours and wake up feeling heavy, foggy, still exhausted. Because shutdown sleep is not the same as peaceful rest. So how do you help your nervous system prepare for sleep? How do you activate that ventral vagal state that allows true rest to happen? It starts with creating cues of safety in the evening. Your nervous system is always scanning for information. Is it safe or is there danger? So you want to give it as many cues of safety as possible. Soft light rather than bright overhead lights. Warm light, like candlelight or low lamps, signals to your nervous system that the day is ending. Bright blue light from screens signals that it's still daytime, that you need to stay alert. A cooler room with warm blankets can also support sleep. Your body temperature naturally drops as you prepare for sleep. A cool environment helps facilitate this process. Gentle sounds can cue safety as well. Soft music, nature sounds, or simply quiet. Sudden loud noises, even from a television or podcast, can keep your sympathetic system on alert. And then, there are practices you can do to directly engage your vagus nerve before bed. Slow breathing with a long exhale is one of the most effective. You can lie in bed and simply breathe. In through your nose for a count of 4. Out through your nose or mouth for a count of 6 or 8. Let your belly rise as you breathe in. Let it fall as you breathe out. This slow, diaphragmatic breathing activates your vagus nerve and shifts your nervous system into parasympathetic mode. You might practice this for just 5 minutes, or longer, if it feels soothing. There's no rush, no goal except to breathe. Gentle stretching or yoga before bed can also help. Not vigorous exercise, just soft movement. A supported forward fold, legs up the wall, a gentle twist. These poses help release physical tension and signal to your nervous system that it's time to wind down. A warm bath or shower can support the transition to sleep as well. The warmth relaxes your muscles. And then, when you step out into the cooler air, your body temperature drops slightly, which naturally prepares you for sleep. Some people find that a brief exposure to cold water on the face, followed by warmth, can be deeply calming. This stimulates the vagus nerve through the dive reflex. But this practice isn't for everyone, so only try it if it feels right for you. Connection before bed can also support ventral vagal activation. A few minutes of gentle conversation with a loved one, a hug, petting your dog or cat. These moments of safe connection tell your nervous system, you're not alone, you're safe, you can rest. And meditation, even just 5 minutes, can make a profound difference. Not meditation where you're trying to achieve something, just sitting or lying quietly, noticing your breath, noticing your body, letting the day slowly dissolve. A body scan meditation can be especially helpful for sleep. This is where you bring gentle attention to each part of your body, one by one. You might start at the top of your head, just noticing what sensations are there, not trying to change anything, just noticing. Then you move down to your forehead, your eyes, your jaw. With each area, You might invite it to soften, to release any tension it's holding. Down through your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your chest and belly, your back, your hips, your legs, all the way down to your feet. This practice helps bring you out of your thinking mind and into your body. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system. It improves vagal tone, and it gives your mind something gentle to focus on instead of racing thoughts. As you scan through your body, you might notice places that feel tense or uncomfortable. That's okay. You don't need to fix anything. Just breathe into those places. Acknowledge them. Thank them for working so hard, and invite them gently to rest. The body scan is also a way of telling your body that you're paying attention, that you're here, that you care. And this can be deeply soothing to a nervous system that's been running on overdrive. All of these practices, breathing, movement, connection, meditation, they're not about forcing sleep. They're about creating the conditions that allow sleep to happen naturally. They're about giving your vagus nerve and your entire nervous system the message that it's safe now. The day is done. The work is complete. You can let go. And now, as we come toward the end of our time together, let's just rest here for a while. There's nothing more you need to learn, nothing more you need to understand. Just let yourself be. Your vagus nerve is there, running like a quiet river through your body. It's connecting your brain to your heart, to your lungs, to your belly. It's listening, always listening. And right now, in this moment, you can send it a message. Through your breath, breathe in slowly, feeling your belly rise. And breathe out, even more slowly, feeling your belly fall. With each exhale, you're activating your vagus nerve. You're telling your body it's safe to relax. Let your jaw soften. You don't need to clench anymore. Let your tongue rest gently in your mouth. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. They've been working so hard, holding so much. They can rest now. Let your belly be soft. You don't need to hold it in. You don't need to be anything other than what you are, right now. Your body is a landscape, and the vagus nerve is like a gentle stream flowing through that landscape, nourishing, connecting, calming. You don't need to do anything. Your body already knows how to do this. It knows how to rest, how to heal, how to return to balance. All you need to do is allow it. Notice your breath again. The gentle rise and fall, like waves on a shore, coming in and going out, over and over. Each breath, a message of safety. Each breath telling your nervous system that everything is okay. You're safe. You're held. You're exactly where you need to be. And if thoughts arise, that's okay. Let them drift by, like clouds across the sky. You don't need to hold on to them. You don't need to follow them. Just let them pass. And return to your breath. Return to the feeling of your body resting. Your heart is beating, steady, calm. Your vagus nerve is quietly doing its work, slowing your heart rate, deepening your breath, softening your muscles. You don't need to make it happen. It's already happening. Your body wants to rest. It's designed for this. After all the movement, all the alertness, all the doing, your body knows how to be still, how to let go, and you can trust it. Your nervous system has carried you through so much. It's protected you, kept you alive, adapted to every challenge. And now, it can rest. You can rest. There's nowhere you need to go. Nothing you need to do. No one you need to be. Just this. Just breathing. Just being. Feel the weight of your body sinking into whatever's beneath you. The bed, the couch, the floor. Let yourself be held. You don't need to hold yourself up anymore. You can let go. Your head can rest. Your neck, your shoulders, your back. Everything can rest. Your arms heavy and relaxed. Your hands soft and open. Your legs long and still. Your feet at ease. Your whole body settling into rest. And your breath continues. In and out. Slow and steady. Like the rhythm of the ocean. Like the rhythm of the earth itself. You're part of this rhythm. You're part of this flow. Your body knows this rhythm. It's ancient, older than words, older than thought. The rhythm of rest, the rhythm of safety. And your vagus nerve carries this rhythm through your body. Like a song, hummed softly in the background of everything. A song that says, you're okay. You're safe. You can rest now. You can let everything go. The worries of the day, let them go. The plans for tomorrow, let them go. The thoughts about what you should have done or should have said, let them go. None of it needs to be carried right now. Right now, all that matters is this breath, this moment, this peaceful, quiet, present moment. Your body is healing as you rest. Your nervous system is returning to balance. Your vagus nerve is doing its gentle work of restoration. And all you need to do is be here. Be still. Be at peace. Your breath is your anchor. Whenever you feel lost or anxious or overwhelmed, you can always return to your breath. It's always there. Always with you. And through your breath, you can always access this calm, this safety, this rest. You're learning to trust your body again, to listen to it, to honor what it's telling you. And your body is learning to trust you, that you'll give it space to rest, that you'll listen when it says, I need to slow down, that you'll create moments of safety and connection and peace. This is healing. Not dramatic, not sudden, just gentle, steady, moment by moment. Healing. Your vagus nerve is supporting you in this. Every slow breath, every moment of stillness, every experience of safety, all of it is strengthening your capacity to rest in your own body. And that capacity will grow. Day by day, breath by breath. You're exactly where you need to be. There's no rush, no destination to reach. Just this journey, this slow, gentle unfolding. Your body knows the way. Trust it. Rest in it. And let yourself drift. Let yourself float like a leaf on a stream, carried gently by the current. No effort, no struggle, just being carried. safe, peaceful, at rest. Your vagus nerve is the river, and you are held by it, supported by it, nourished by it. And as you rest in this quiet darkness, know that your body is doing exactly what it needs to do. Your nervous system is finding its balance. Your vagus nerve is guiding you home. Home to yourself, home to peace, home to rest. And here, you can stay as long as you need. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just rest, just breathe, just be.